Okay, got to dance until I see myself live on the screen there. Ooh, and I'm going to tweak my camera a little bit. Better. There we go. More room for my lovely mug there. Seem really zoomed in today. Oh, there we go. Well, it's because I was leaning into the camera. Hey! Hello, weirdos and malafolks. How we doing today? I am Doug, also known as Gooslato, also known as Top Doug Design. I'm just zooming in on my lovely miniature today a little bit more. Just make sure I'm all good. How's everyone doing? It feels like it has been forever and a day since I have painted with you all. I was last week, so not the weekend that just finished up, but the weekend before that, I was in Las Vegas running the Malifaux events at Las Vegas Open. And so then I was driving home last week. So couldn't paint with you because I was on the road somewhere in between Vegas and Albuquerque at the time. So, because I had to, drive, I drove out there because I had like 6 giant Rubbermaid tubs worth of terrain to put on the tables. So, yeah, I think is this my first? No, it's not the first of the year, but my first of February. February is a hard word to say. But I decided, you know what? My goal for the year is to get a crew painted up for every single faction. That way, when I'm running demos or new players through things, that I will have a crew for everyone, regardless of what faction they want to play. Now, it's going to be a challenge for me when it comes to Gremlins. Oh, when it comes to Bayou. Bayou's never super appealed to me. They're a little silly for my tastes. But I decided, hey, I'm going to start out by branching out towards the mercenary keyword. And I want to do a little bit of warm-up there with Miss Deed. Figured I'd start with the Outcast because we only had one Outcast player at LVO. So I wanted to, paint him up. But Taylor actually, well, technically we had 2 if you count that team event. But in the GT, we only had the 1. But we... yeah, I figure, because Taylor won the Bonanza Brawl, she's going to be my first mercenary model I'm going to paint up here. And so I'm doing the Alt Taylor Miss Deed because this is my favorite sculpt of her. So let's dive right in. Alrighty. So I think I'm going to start out with her cloak there because that is giving me the most opportunity to... Mama Z is also Bayou, but when I do Bayou, I'm going to do an actual gremlin for the Bayou because that's what most of the people who who are starting out who want to play Bayou do it because they want to play the crazy Bayou redneck goblins that the gremlins are, and so I want to have a crew that fits that well. Not sure which one I'm going to... Oh, come on, open up. Oh, man, this got gunked up. Yeesh. So, not sure which one it will end up being. Yeah. So, I was thinking possibly Ulix. Brewmaster has always appealed to me because, beer hat ninjas. And frankly, Beer Hat Ninjas sounds like fun to me. So I might end up going with that one. We shall see. I've got to get, my mercenaries here finished first. Because I've ran the Vix crew a few times in games, and they're a lot of fun. And they seem like they're pretty beginner-friendly to teach. That they are not, one of the super tricksy type masters that is hard, that, requires a better understanding of the mechanics. Like when it comes to teaching a new player, if there happens to be a master that they're like, I need to play this master, I will totally teach them that master. Or at least help them learn it if it's not a master I already know how to play. But when it comes down to it, if they're a new player and they just say, hey, I want to play this faction, I will then try to play because at least every single faction has got, at least one keyword that is more of a straightforward keyword. That they've got just something where they aren't, being tricksy and a lot of moving parts. And there is, every master has got the learning the basics of it and then learning how to fully master that master. It takes a little bit more. There's certain masters that are just more straightforward to learn, and tends to be masters that are very, very killy, combat-y type masters tend to be a little bit more straightforward and easier to get a new player up to speed with. And a lot of times Vicks are the Vicks engaged? No, we'll get them engaged and hit things with your sword. Oh, you can't quite get there? Well, then shoot things with your guns. And that, obviously, it's more complex than that, but tends to be a decent place to start out with for a beginner. So Vicks, pretty straightforward beginner crew. My beginner crew for Neverborn used to be back in the day Lilith. Is Lilith engaged? No. Get her engaged, hit things with sword. And let's be honest, that's what Nekima does now. So. And obviously, I'm oversimplifying it because there's always a lot more going on than just that. But when it comes to a beginner, straightforward crew, much easier to learn. And I'd rather they get the hang of the base mechanics of, this is a duel, this is a trigger. And now that you've learned about, how to do duels and triggers, etc., you're going to learn how to, play Malifaux and not just Killifaux, learning how to play to the strats and schemes. Because I think if someone has played a miniatures game before, they usually pick up on the mechanics of Malifaux pretty quickly. But it's where they end up kind of the stumbling block for a lot of the experienced miniatures players who are coming to Malifaux. Tends to be I don't just go and kill. They've got to learn how to play the strategies and the schemes, because you don't always score those by killing. And honestly, right now, with the current gaining grounds, and I was literally just discussing this the other day over in the Steam Powered Scoundrels Discord. Right now, the current gaining grounds is actually heavily weighted towards not being super killy. Only one of the current current strategies actually involves killing at all. And that's Turf War. And only four of the schemes actually involve killing either. So I'd like to see it tilt back. I like that there's a lot in Malifaux that is not lots of ways to score, that is not just killing your opponent. But I think the current gaining grounds is tilted slightly too far towards the not getting rewarded for killing. I'd like to see it maybe skew back where at least two of the strategies involve being able to get some benefit other than, hey, you can't accomplish your things when you're dead. I'd like to see more of them get the in that direction. I'd like 50% of them to in some way reward you for killing your enemy. And I'd like at least two more of the schemes to maybe lean that direction. But that's just me. The current gaining grounds is pretty difficult for a new player to get up and running with, in my opinion. All right, so I got her coat looking nice. Love how quickly that looks good. Look at that. That's looking great already. So then, let's see. Okay, let's start doing her hair a little bit there. Yeah, I could definitely see myself doing Ulix because, the pigs are beasts. And also, I'm going to be getting Ulix when I get the Titania box. And by Titania box, I also mean, let's be honest, the Titania Ulix box is also a Marcus box because that Hermanthium Boar goes for Marcus, my friends. That's my number one brush there. So what has everyone else been painting up lately? I feel like I've been a little bit out of the painting loop with my crazy cross-country road trips. Oh, you jerk. I want that model so much. It's the benefit of, being at Weird HQ, I suppose. And when I say jerk, I say that with all love. It's the, lucky, lucky, lucky. I don't actually think you're a jerk, Kimberly. You're my favorite. Hey, you know what? Sometimes everyone's got to be the designated a-hole every once in a while. I enjoy taking on that job from time to time. Which, let's be honest, because I am the permanent TO for everything around here, ends up falling to me quite a bit. Like, it's that weird thing. I don't know when it happened, but somehow I became the guy who's always running things instead of the guy who's participating in things. I have no clue when that happened. It kind of happened without me noticing. All right, let's go with the pants now. Yeah, it's gonna end up being no, let's go with it. Super thin on there. Yeah, it's one of those weird things where if you really enjoy doing something and you end up starting organizing it, you just become that person over time. But honestly, I don't mind. I enjoy running a good event. Now, I like to think I run a very good event if I do say so myself. Just ask anyone who came to LVO or my local dudes who come to my monthly tournaments. Actually, it's coming up this Saturday. Oh man, I got another tournament coming up this Saturday. I'm running a local tourney Saturday. It's always so busy. Yeah, it was lots of fun. And I'm hoping to build on that. Get more people out there next year. We had 22 tickets sold. Two guys weren't able to come just because COVID travel restrictions, etc. But we actually had a really large crew. We had 5 dudes drive down from Banff, Alberta. So 5 delightful Canadians came and played. It was awesome. That's weird. Do I want to go with that one, or do I want to go with that one? No, I think she's going to go with that for her boots. Yeah, the event went off really, really well. Actually, one of the guys who came down from Canada ended up winning it all. Super nice dude named Nick, which I thought was a funny. We ended up having, I think, 3 players named Nick in the tournament, so it just got confusing. It's like, oh, and you're playing against Nick. Which one? Oh, right, that one. Which I find kind of hilarious, especially when we were doing the Bonanza Brawl, so the Honey Pot Casino Brawl. Oh, hey, you know what? Something I just noticed, Play Weird. None of the chat is popping up. It's popping up in the stream chat on the side, but it's not popping up on the actual view window. Sorry. Weird little technical thing I just noticed. But yeah, so it was funny because we had 3 when we were doing the Bonanza Brawl, which is that crazy it's the variation on the All Out Brawl. It's a variation that Other Doug from Steam Powered Scoundrels put together the rules for. And it's all kinds of fun. I'm not seeing it over there yet. Double check in your OBS that it's the little eye icons on, and that it's didn't get shifted to a lower layer. Is my guess. Either shifted to a lower layer underneath something, or it got turned off. Not hidden. Okay, yeah. Das word. Make sure it didn't get somehow shifted below the overlay layer. That's the only other thing I would think that it is, or who knows. Because I end up doing stuff like that every now and then on my own OBS. Like I forget to lock it and then I accidentally drag stuff. She is wearing gloves. Fingerless glove look there. The joys of technology, right? All right. Got that. Here's that. Let's go with the red shirt. Got a little hydration. Now, I see Waldo doing things. To be fair, I blame Waldo for any technical issues. Freezy, puckish little imp. I've been wanting to paint this model for a couple of years now. I just haven't gotten around to it, you know? Figure this is the perfect opportunity to do it because I was so unsure of what I felt like painting this week. Alrighty, let's start on her skin tones. And I think I wanted to go tan skin, tanned highlight, fair shadow. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll look good. And maybe go all the way up to fair highlight. Hey, McBluff, how you doing today? I'm doing well. Getting glad to be back in the swing of painting here after being out of town for a little while there. I really genuinely enjoy painting with you all. Oh, I had so much fun. LVO was awesome. I had a really nice turnout. We had total actually had 24 different people playing Malifaux over the weekend. Now, some of those only played in the Friday Fun Day. So we had 20 people play on the Saturday Sunday event, and we had 16 people play on Friday. So there were some people who played on Friday who didn't play on Saturday Sunday. Some people who played on Saturday Sunday who didn't play on Friday. So it was lots of fun. It was fun to see some old familiar faces, and also awesome to meet people who I had not met before. I said it before, we had some guys come down all the way from Banff, Alberta. We actually drove down. But yeah, I drove to and from LVO because I had 6 big old Rubbermaid tubs full of terrain that I had to bring. I generally have very, very full terrain tables. Well, I mean, I had to bring enough terrain for 13 tables. And at the appropriate level of coverage, it takes up a lot of space. Alrighty. Ms. Deed here is coming along quickly. I'm excited. This is a fun model. All right. do believe it is time to put a little bit of metallics on our stuff there. New Orleans is fun. I enjoy New Orleans. I used to live up in Abita Springs. So, yeah, hell, from where I live, New Orleans isn't that bad of a trek. I know there's a lot of people who live in Houston who used to live in New Orleans due to hurricanes and whatnot. A sci-fi parade, nice. Oh yeah, isn't God, when is Mardi Gras this year? Because I know we must be coming up on carnival season in that area, though. Hey, what is up, Viruk? How you doing today, dude? Mardi Gras is March 1st this year. Yeah, I know that carnival season runs for a long while. I used to live in the area just north of Lake Pontchartrain up in Abita Springs. Work? What is this work thing I hear? I literally, when I'm not, here painting, I'm like 6 feet that way over, over there, working at my computer. Getting home from work. I'm not familiar with that concept. The joys of working from home for yourself. Running club. Fun times. For me today is I'm going to eat M&M's Club. I do enjoy my tasty M&M's. Because it's not a Gooslada stream if I don't bring up food. I'm not sure. Like I didn't like I got the leaders etc. But I didn't get the full list all the time. I know the one list he has posted was his Hinamatsu list. We brought Hinamatsu as a leader, and he did that one as a hard counter pick because he kind of knew the guy he was going against was playing Hoffman too. But yeah, on you should tag him on the LVO post in a weird place. He's replied to a few people. Is Nick Kalnins or Nick Slot? Like I know it's spelled a little bit differently because he's actually Swedish. But happens to live in Canada. He was part of the Alberta crew. All righty. Well then, I think it's time to let's work on the pants a little bit there. Okay, now let's do the boots and the so I did mahogany brown. Oh, where did I do? Which one? Mahogany brown. This chestnut brown is gonna be next one up on that one. He was a solid player, super nice dude. Actually, you know what? I could probably find out what the list was as well if if he was using the app at all because he played against one of my local Houston guys final round. So I had two of my Texas guys come out with me. Well, they didn't drive with me, but two of them came out and stayed with me out at Vegas there. And they ended up going second and fourth place. So that was fun. But yeah, I saw a good mix of a lot of different masters played at LVO. And the other nice thing was that it looked like, not every single thing was, nothing but the new titles. Seemed to be a pretty decent split between titled and untitled masters. Because ultimately, I'm of the opinion that if we end up seeing nothing but titled masters, like, well, that's, not where we want to be. We want it to be a pick between both of them, where either or can work out nicely depending on the situation. Really do need to personally get in more games because I've been super busy with, LVO, obviously. And LVO prep. I have not gotten in very many games lately. And that makes me sad. I like to play games. I don't just paint, I play too. So what are you painting up this week, Vyric? And McBluff, what have you been working on lately? Painting the witches from Alt Zoraida? Oh, that's fun. I picked up that box. I haven't painted it yet. That would be I've got Avatar, I've got original Zoraida, I got topless Zoraida. That'd be my fourth version of Zoraida to paint up, so that would be fun. Kurgan conversions. And Zoraida too. See, I think where possible, we should come up with more fun names than just, 1 and 2. I think that's really, really boring. I prefer to call number 1 or whatever original recipe for everyone. And it was calling a lot of them, the extra spicy version. That works for the models that were very much touched by the Burning Man. So, Riva is extra spicy. Karis extra spicy. Ulix definitely extra spicy. I've been calling New Marcus Barcus because he went full on beast mode. And not calling him Barcus is just a missed opportunity. And just calling him 1 and 2 just shows no, it got to have some whimsy in your soul. So I'm not sure what I'd call all of them yet. But 1 and 2 just feels boring. Alrighty. Let's go with the red next. Let me think. New Zoraida, Moth Zoraida. What would be a good nickname for Moth Zoraida instead of Zoraida 2? Ooh, this one's clogged up. Oh, that's chunky. That's some chunky red. Yeah, look at that. It's coming out like powder. That's not happy times. Oof. My red got chunkified up in there. What is going on here? Moth Mama. Oh, that's not bad. There we go. And now I just look like, I butchered a gremlin over here. Let's dip my fingers in my water pot and clean them off. I had another paper towel. I feel like I'm going crazy. There we go. Fresh paper towel on the table. There we are. Alrighty. There we go. Get a good little intermediate mix there. Now, Vyrek, do you play mostly Neverborn as well? But that just happens to be what you've been painting up mostly of late. Because I know you did a lot of the stuff with the Nekima and the Nephilim, and you were doing a bunch of the Savage recently, weren't you? I could swear I saw you painting up a bunch of crazy frost giants recently. I think really need to be looking into Euripides soon. I mean, I've got them built. I don't have them painted. But Euripides seems like he's a fun model to play. Plus, I've had a buddy mention he was very much interested in playing them. Actually, another guy, he does paint streaming. Okay, no worries. Just figured I'd point that out to you. Let's just keep this going and we'll worry about that later. But yeah, he comes on here and he pops into chat here occasionally, but also streams Jotunwolf. Is local to me, and I've known him since for many years from playing other games. And as you can tell by his name, Jotun, he is interested in playing a bunch of frost giants. So I just got to get him to get out to the store sometime. Now, have a wonderful day or evening, I guess, or night, I guess it's time for you. Vyruk, hopefully I'll be able to tune into your stream this week. Have a wonderful night. I will catch you later, dude. Oh, screen. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So I'm going to hit her hair a little bit here now. So what I'm actually going to do is, this is, when you look at, so I'm doing black hair on her, and I've seen a lot of times like where people are doing like black hair or black, like black feathers or whatever. You end up using kind of a turquoise to kind of highlight it up. Kind of gives it a nice, like that sheen to it there. Because a lot of times if you just paint, try to highlight up to like a gray, it ends up just looking gray as opposed to black. So I'm going with a very like dark black turquoise there. So I mixed it, I mixed this the deep ocean here with my black to try to get a nice little kind of tone to it there. And I can always go back in and shade down towards black a bit more. If I get too much turquoise to it. But I like the look it gives most of the time. Grab me an M&M. Let's go in there and go up a little bit brighter on that there. Hey, welcome back, McBluff. How you doing? I think I probably asked it while you were away. Oh, yeah. What have you been working on lately, McBluff? You tired? Yeah, I hear you there. Ended up having a really late night last night. We were doing a going away party for one of our good friends, one of my good wife's good friends, who she met through work. They're moving out to California, so got together with them and some other friends who we really have not seen all that much lately because COVID and such. And I wanted to, so we could give them a proper send off. It was not fun, but feeling much better today. That's good. We're gonna on our project. Trying to figure out what our project to work on. Actually, I realized a really good song for another Malifaux animatic, but it fits the general vibe, so it's difficult figuring out what to focus on for that animatic. It'll be fun. Hey, what is up, Haunted? I know, man. It feels like I have not been, around in forever. I mean, I only, missed 1 week. But that means it was 2 weeks ago the last time I painted for y'all. And that was like a week and a half where I couldn't, tune into anybody. Because LVO. second here. She's kind of popping off the poster putty I got there. Let's squish her back down. There we go. And hydrate. Oh, this is Miss Deed. It is an alternate sculpt for Taylor. Yeah, it's honestly my favorite of her sculpts. I'm just going and doing the thing right now. I'm a fan of doing this it's for especially for hair, and for hair and feathers, of highlighting the black. It's kind of a turquoise, kind of gives it that sheen to it. With it gives it some depth without making it look like it's just gray. So right now it still looks black mostly. It's got a little bit of going on there. Alrighty, so let's go and let's go up one more level on the aqua there to get the tips there. To be fair, Taylor is always kind of angry and drunk. I think most of the stories in the lore with Taylor is involves a bar. So have you been haunted? And what have you been working on lately? I feel like I'm so out of yeah, because I missed a week of everything. I feel like I'm so out of touch with what everyone else is painting. Oh, sadness. Been good. Oh, you're gonna actually go play an attorney. Nice. Oh, nice. So at LVO, Hinamatsu was an interesting surprise pick for someone. The guy who won the whole tournament in one round ended up using Hinamatsu as his leader. Yeah, and he actually he did post his list to a weird place there, so you can go find it. I mean, it was a hard. He knew the other guy who was playing at that point. Had every other round so far had played Hoffman too, and so he kind of thought he was going to play Hoffman too, which he did. And it kind of played to the strats and schemes. It was a bit of a surprise pick there. Oh yeah. But yeah, I think with that he ended up bringing along like Widow Weaver and Vasilisa, and he ended up bringing along two of the effigy. So he brought along the obviously the mysterious effigy as his totem then, but he brought along the intrepid effigy with the I turn into an emissary upgrade. And it definitely, so the guy who he played that against was actually one of my Texas guys. And while I didn't talk at the game too much with him there, definitely sounded like it caught him by surprise. I think I may have actually snapped a screenshot of it so I could make a list like that some other time. You haunted, shoot me a message that I remember to send that to you. Yeah, so I like the look that that turquoise is giving her hair there. I mean, it almost gets kind of an anime look to it. I think that's fun. All right, going back and going to start doing a little more work on her cloak now. On her coat. She's not wearing a cloak. She's wearing a coat. So for the tournament you're going to be playing in this weekend, what are you going to be playing? Like what faction? Karai 2 and Guasin. Nice. Yeah, those have got some nasty potential to them. The whole take the hit plus bodyguard, well, take the hit plus vengeance is nasty. Especially because it's like, what? It's vengeance 2 on those things, right? Oof. Now, I do think that does need to be cleared up in the FAQ. That, if you take the hit, it does proc vengeance. But didn't end up actually coming up during LVO at all. But apparently they well, it's not so much house ruling. From what I heard, like in the advertisements for it, because I mean, it could honestly be taken either way. But when they were, the designers were talking about it in promotions for it, they, specifically said, oh, and yeah, it jumps in there and then they, do this damage to them. So they were talking about that. So we know what the intent was because they specifically said it. And so, like the Vassal World Series is kind of late just because they're playing more games than most anyone else. It's been kind of the way they've been ruling on things has been kind of the standard of late. And they ruled it that way too. And while that question didn't end up coming up during LVO, that's how I was going to rule it as well. Yeah, and honestly, I didn't have to make very many tough TO calls, which I love it when I don't have to make any when I don't have to make tough calls or settle arguments, etc. Because then that means things are running smoothly, people are getting along. But the funny thing, the thing I have noticed is that because it was a 5-round 2-day event, that 90% of the calls that I have to make. Hey, who's that? Who's following us there? What happened there? Dr. Blowback, thanks for the follow. How you doing today, Dr. Blowback? But yeah, so what I was saying there is it amuses me that honestly, like 90% of the calls I have to make, as a TO, come on day 2. Because I feel like on day 1, I maybe had to make. Well, I didn't have to make any calls per se. It was the clearing up rules questions. But 90% of the even rules questions, more of them came up day 2 than they did day 1. And I think it's because I have to make the tough calls on day 2, because by that point, the very competitive players are paired off against the very competitive players. And that they can, they smell that podium spot. So they are, that's when things start to get a little heated. And also, by that point, the more inexperienced players are generally paired off with other more inexperienced players because of just the way the Swiss pairings work. And that you've got your more inexperienced players who need the occasional rules clarification. And your hyper-competitive players need the calls made. Oh, yeah, you know what? When I run events, I love having new players at my events. Because, ultimately, your first round pairing is going to be random. Because that's the way it goes. First round pairing is random. But after that, oh, yeah. So I love new players at my tournaments. So if they get paired into, if a new player gets paired into a experienced player, hopefully it's one of my friendly experienced players who is still going to win, but who will help, explain to them how to be a better player, give them the rundown, teach them the rules, etc. And then as they play, after you get paired up against, that first round random, you end up matching up against someone of a comparable skill level. And it makes for a fun time. And when it comes to a tournament, I feel like new players should not worry about going out and trying to win it, but also it's a way to guarantee 3 games in a day. And the best way to get better at the game is to play more. The more you play, the better at it you get. I don't know. I went and I played in my first tournament after only ever having played 3 games. Now, this was right at the launch of second edition. But the funny thing with it was, I actually ended up winning that tournament. Because most of the guys who were there had played throughout the beta and been, playing the rules for a while. And they had in their mind, this is how you play this master. And I come out and I bring, so I brought Rasputina. I literally had enough for models for exactly 1 list. Had no extra options. But so I put it on the table with, because back in second edition, you had the master upgrades, which honestly is kind of like the way titles are now. But I chose the upgrade for her that apparently no one ever chose to play with. Everyone else liked to use the ice pillar upgrade that she had at the time. I come out and I choose the upgrade that allowed her to use her triggers when she cast through an ice mirror friend, because it was just easier for me to remember stuff, and no one was expecting that. And I'm like, I don't know what any of your things do, so I'm just going to kill everything, and it just worked out. So I won that tournament and then proceeded to not win a single game for like 3 months after that. Because like, oh, wait, who is this guy? What's he doing? And you know what? He's coming out and winning these things. All right. We're not going to be nice to him anymore. We're just going to, kick his butt. Yeah, and I've got another clogged paint. But I feel like being able to just get those guaranteed 3 games in a day is just such a good way to learn the game. Huh. That's fun. Sounds like something a gremlin would do. But I've decided that my goal, my hobby goal for the year. Say we're only in February. It's still early enough to make hobby goals for the year. My hobby goal for the year is to have at least one painted crew for each faction. So that no matter what a new player ends up choosing, I've got a crew they can borrow. To start learning with. Plus, then it'll get me to branch out more as to what I play. Because if I've got it painted, I'm more likely to play it. Because I want to get it on the table then. At least a playable crew. But full keyword is never a bad thing to aim for. So obviously I'm starting out. So with my Outcast here, I'm starting out with the Mercenary keyword to get the Vix to the table. I think the Vix are a good starting crew. Yeah, I'm trying. So I think the one that's going to be hardest for me to do is going to be is Bayou. I'm not, I'm just not a Bayou player, and it's just have never really appealed to me. They're just that little bit too silly for me. Yeah, so they I think they're fun to paint. I've painted up a bunch of I painted up Bayou for a bunch of Iron Painter stuff. I did a really fun diorama with Mancha Roja and the Wrestlers doing a mud wrestling thing, which was tons of fun to do. Then I did a Wong diorama later on. That was tons of fun to do. So I like painting them. They just have never tapped that spot for me to want to play. And yeah, I get that. Zoraida is Bayou, but she strikes me. I think of her more as Neverborn. And honestly, I probably have an entire Zoraida crew painted up. Although I'm not sure. I know I've got 3 different Zoraidas painted. Yeah, because I've got Zoraida painted. I've got a whole bunch of the Silurids painted up because you used to be able to bring them with Marcus. Yeah, I definitely have a bunch of beasts painted right now that are currently living in my display case instead of in my gaming bag because they were beasts that Marcus could take in second edition. And we all know my love of Marcus. And back in second edition, nice. Yeah, back in second edition, Marcus was basically an entire faction in and of himself because he could take every single beast. So that meant I had every single beast from every single faction. Got to catch up. I'm going to show you. Got slotted size every half inch of metal line trace. Oh, and are you magnetizing everything? Nice. Yeah, I don't have any of my models magnetized like that. I've got a bunch of foam, mostly because I've got a whole bunch of old GW hardside cases. Nice. So like that's a lot of storage space there. Yeah, that is what happens. Now, is the Hinamatsu you're working on, is that a personal project or is that a commission? Oh, so you're painting two Hinamatsus at once. Hey, Cateran Llama, how you doing today? I too have been worse. I've been better, but I've also been worse. Because I'm not bad today, you know? Not bad by a long shot. Enjoying painting this model. This model is just fun. This is a fun model to paint. A little bit of that. Darken that up just a bit. A few lines up in the conversation, that's one you haven't finished collecting, much less painting. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mama Z. That's coming. Oh yeah, I need. I swear I've got the Spawn Mother around here somewhere. I was thinking it might be fun to do like a Spawn Mother with like a color shift paint. Ooh, make her egg markers like glittery eggs. That'd be fun. Was Llama our resident glitter lover? There we go. I'm liking how she's coming along here. Well, let's be honest. We all like picking. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's cloaks like this. If you haven't been paying attention to what I've been doing there, or when I do cloaks, this is when I fall into my most. I lick my brush a lot, and I am licking paint off of my brush, and I am doing spit blending. Then it's how I learned to do blends on this kind of thing, and I definitely, if it were something that weren't brown, I can't tell from. I'll end up with like paint all over my lips there. That's when I do my most brush lickering, licking, brush, lick. Alrighty. So I do believe, let's go in and do a little bit on her shirt there. I think I do need to go up one more on the red. Got a little bit of dirty water spots on my palette. Oh, goodness. So I think this is going to be a fun keyword to paint. Because it really gets a lot of the Wild West look going on there, which I'm a big fan of the Wild West stuff for Malifaux. And so her and the Ronin kind of really get that Wild West look going on. Swords are fun. And it's got, a nice, it's got a nice look to the crew. Alrighty, let's do a little bit more on her leather pants there, on the leather boots and pants. I think this rust brown is one of my favorite colors from like rust brown. So I use a lot of the, where to put it. So the mahogany brown, chestnut brown, the rust brown. I use this triad a lot. I really do. The rust brown and the chestnut brown actually work really great for doing uh, rust colors and combined with metal. Oh, I forgot. There's a little bit of metal on her boots that I got to paint up. Because she's wearing spurs. Okay, cool. 45 left. This is a fun model of paint. I like this model. I need to remember actually, so I don't forget. So let's put that metal on her spurs. There we go. Right. Next steel up. I use shadow to get homes. She is popping off her base there again. Let's fix that up. There we go. I am loving this model. I always love it when you get on that model and you just, there's something fun about that when you get going on a model and it just coming together even better than you thought it would. I always enjoy that. Yeah, let's go with that. All right. Ma Took It was an unexpected favorite of yours. That sounds like fun. All right. Just trying to add a little bit of a glow to. She's got these runes on it there. Just lining in with very, very thin, bright red paint. I can always go back and touch up around the edges of it. Yeah, let's go. There we go. All right. Let's go back over that. A little metallic. To clean it up. All right, and let's bring out the brightest of the bright silvers now. Just hit the edges. Yeah, when it comes time to actually go after a Bayou Master, I'm not sure which one I'm going to end up doing. Ken. Yeah, that sounds, yeah, I was looking at Zip. Zip looked like that might be fun to do. So I might go with Zip. Brewmaster is also one that has really appealed to me. But the purpose for doing, at least one of every single faction to kind of, make a beginner, you have at least a beginner-friendly crew for every faction. And I feel like Brewmaster isn't super beginner-friendly. Oh, no, the Wrestlers of Mancha Roja was one of my all-time favorite things to paint. I did them for I did a mud wrestling diorama for Iron Painter. And I had a blast painting it. That's what I was thinking. And you are looking nice, lady. Yeah, it's kind of the... I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I mean, as far as Explorer Society goes, I finished up the Apex keyword there. Just got to get around to finishing the basing on my Crypsis core. And then I'll post some photos of the whole keyword there. All righty. Yeah, she's looking nice. All right. So I need to rinse my paint water. So are you there, Kimberly? I need to run and rinse my paint water real fast. So you're able to put on the be right back thing? Cool. I will be right back. I just need fresh paint water. Hey, everybody, I am back with, clean paint water. We are getting down to the detailing time here. I really just mostly need to do her pants and her skin tones there. So let's dive right in on that. Got about 20 minutes left here. I think we can almost actually get her finished today. Craziness, right? Actually finishing an entire model in one stream? That's just crazy talk right there. Let's grab the number one. Yeah, that's my number one. Yeah, I try to. I'm just not always great with it. I also have a tendency of liking to batch paint things, which doesn't work out great on stream. So I've been trying to break myself of that a little bit. This is not the color I need. Okay. Let's go up with Snow Shadow there. And of course, my Snow Shadow is clogged. Stabbity stab, 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 stab my paint. Yeah, but your envy turned out amazing, though, man. From what I mean, is he like finished, or is he still, work in progress? Because what I saw with him last time was looking really, really good. But I think it was last time I saw him, he was still in pieces. Ah, I hear you there. It was also just an incredibly detailed model. And he's a large size. He's, honestly a larger model. Do you have the rest of the Crossroads Sevens finished up now? Like, was he the last one you had to do, or was he kind of, still had other people in that in the band? Lust and Wrath. Okay. He actually had. There was a guy who at LVO where he played Crossroads Seven. So he's going. He went Outcast and used Crossroads Seven as the his crew. Didn't finish very well, but had a good time. A beautifully painted Crossroads Seven though. So I'm trying to go for a bit of a denim looking texture here. Always a challenge to do. Got to kind of do a little bit of an almost speckly thing going on. Not quite speckly, but I mean, you're kind of aiming for a chalky almost look, but not exactly. It's got that texture to it, Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ended up spending most of the month of January when I wasn't painting minis on the Playweird stream. If I was painting, I was doing terrain for LVO. I'm really proud of the tables that I had there. Not to toot my own horn, but I think they were some of the best looking tables at all of LVO. And, you know, some of the best looking tables I've seen on for a lot of Malifaux for a while. Obviously, I'm biased and I'm tooting my own horn there, but you know what? Toot toot. Oh yeah, we got about 9 minutes here. Gators? Why are we saying gators there? I'm confused. Oh God. Okay, there we go. You know how it goes. Sometimes you just miss the chat, the little bits in the chat there. I can't scroll, Haunted. I'm painting. Probably next. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow night on my own personal stream there. If I don't finish her on this lovely misdeed before then, I'll probably finish her up on my stream then. If I do, we'll figure out what I'm going to go from there. I'm not quite sure what I go with from there afterwards. I've been so focused on getting ready for LVO, I've forgotten what it was like to, you know, be able to just pick what I want to paint. Not that, you know, it was terribly difficult to pick, you know, what I was painting for that. It was, yeah, painting a lot of my own terrain stuff there. But still, So it's, hey, I gotta, if I'm not working on LVO stuff, I'm falling behind. But now that LVO is behind me, I have to figure out what to do with myself. And now that I'm back from that, I should be able to have a little bit more of a regular stream, paint streaming schedule on my personal streams. I think I'll be doing Tuesday night and late night on Thursdays is what I'm going to be doing. So I'll be on here on Mondays. And on my personal channel, I'll be streaming on Tuesday nights and late nights on Thursdays. Now, trying to be a little bit predictable for y'all. Helps to get you people to come back then. There we go. Now she is looking quite lovely. Let's see if I can get a. Yeah, I got 4 minutes left. I got a little bit. I'm not going to be able to finish her. Yeah, and Thursday is definitely late night stream. Then that's Malifaux night out at my local games shop. So I'll be out playing and then come here and paint. Yeah, what nights are you streaming? You're doing a lot of stuff on the weekends more so, right, Haunted? Totally forgot to hit her glove with this right here. Saturday, Sunday, occasionally Friday. Good to know. Yeah, I recently changed up how I'm getting my notifications for my Twitch, which email address it's going to, and sorting them a little bit better so that I actually see them when they pop up, as opposed to having them buried in with all the other promotions email. So now I'm able to actually catch friends streams a little more often. Because most of the time I just had been noticing the email, so much later when I would have been able to totally tune in. And at the very least give someone a lurk. So it would appear we've got just a few seconds left. Oh, hey, it looks like it is. The time has popped. So thank you all so much for tuning in. This is Miss Deeb so far. And I would say she is very, very close to done. I just really got to do her skin tones here for the most part and then do her basing. So, yeah. So I'll be posting a photo of her really, really soon. Thank you all for tuning in. And tune in next time as I continue on my journey with the mercenary keyword for Outcasts. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening and stay weird, everyone. Have a good night.